me are going to go on a little ride. I think today has got to be one of the worst days I've ever seen for chemtrailing. I did, I think, about a 10-mile journey, stopped off at the supermarket, and I'm counting 30 planes at that point in that hour that was coming over Brighton. 5 planes at a time. Fortunately, I can't move the car in the direction that they are, but there's 2 up there above my head right now. It's absolutely exceptional at chemtrailing today. See, really, to actually have given you a better idea of what they're actually doing to the skies, it would have been better for me to have been videoing this morning when the atmosphere has had time to clear these chemtrails overnight. Because by the time you get to this time, like 6-7 o'clock in the evening, the sky is a completely different colour. It's completely white, and you can't see the trails as easy. I mean, there's 2 above our heads now, you can see. I'm kind of just driving around just to see if I can really show you the impact. Oh, there's another one. You know, they're just absolutely everywhere. Everything you see in the sky here right now is chemicals. None of that is natural cloud. They're all, from what I've seen the planes go over today, the big middle white cloud that you're seeing in the middle of the camera is where it's been spread over for the last 4 or 5 hours. I mean, that's just deliberately to be pumped completely over your head. There's no other reason for it. My gut feeling tells me that this is for one purpose, and that is to completely fill us up with nanotechnology, ready for the 5G, because there is no real other kind of explanation how the whole world, despite how many wars we've had for as long as we can ever remember, one thing they can agree on is the installation of 5G, and spraying their own people. Sorry, as my camera goes out of focus. Spraying their own people with nanotechnology. I think the 2 are completely linked. Yeah, so my gut feeling is that the 5G turn on, as I said, rolled out worldwide, despite the fact the whole planet can't get on in so-called wars. You know, one thing they can agree on is 5G installation and geoengineering, which is really interesting. And if you link the 2 together and you look at the technology capabilities of 5G, the nanotechnology that's being continually sprayed onto us is probably more likely just for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to make us microchipped, completely microchipped. 5G is being rolled out, tested in Gateshead at the moment. It's giving children nosebleeds, women's hair's falling out. You know, you won't see the immediate signs of cancer, but that will come in several years, which is why this becomes quite a tactful, clever weapon that doesn't point fingers at the real people that it needs to point them at. So we've got the 5G rollout, you know, now in our country, radiating people. The war is on, my friends. The war, to me, is on. Yeah, so all these lines you can see, all of this is just complete chemicals. The way it wisps, it doesn't condense like a cloud. It's very thin, wispy, and it just spreads over and over. There's a huge hunk of it now, as you see, coming into the camera. It's going to say with perfect focus, but then it goes out of focus. Yeah, 5G is here. transformation and boiling process begin. You know, people, we've got to get acting. Look at the work of empowermovement.com, and they appear to me to be the only people that have actually got any kind of structure on how we can roll this out as everybody. If you go to their YouTube channel, or just go into empowermovement.com, you'll see they're holding people liable, not organisations, but actually people. And I think this is where the power lies in this, is if we start holding people like pilots personally responsible for going out and spraying our skies, we're going to have a very quicker result than if we sit there and try and persuade the government to support us in stopping it, because I can absolutely tell you now they're not going to support us in stopping this. They're part of sustainable development plans that's been rolled out for the last 50 years. It's nothing by accident, this is all by design. Your life being incredibly difficult and you getting absolutely nowhere, not being able to speak to your friends, family, fallouts, relationship breakups, divorce, debt, bankruptcy, you name it, it's all been put into place so you don't get anywhere. Why they do, because all your debt generates money for the private side, you know, us as the public side, we're just the slaves. And then they've come to a point now, they've decided that they've had enough of us slaves. They've got enough money, they've taken all the gold, we've mined all the gold, we've got rid of, you know, we've mined all the jewels out of the planet is screwed now, so our job as human beings is now done. That's what's happening. People need to take some action. As I said, look at Empower Movement. There's a couple of documents you have to fill out. There's a very slight legal process that needs to be done. But if there's anyone out there who knows anything about law, then please do get involved. Yeah, everything that's happening to us is being done by tacit agreement, which means that if we don't say no, we've said yes. So we're consenting in their eyes to all of this right now. Now, if we've got ourselves in consent with the elite, the government, people that are rolling out these big agendas like the United Nations, then it tells me that they have to they're regulated by a certain law, which is what Empower talks about, much more than I can understand at this stage. But it means that they hide what they do. They tell us in a very sneaky way. You know, we've got the Geostorm film, which everyone just thinks is great entertainment. It's not. It's disclosure about their geoengineering. So that's how they get away with it. They will show you in such a way that you won't realise that you've just consented. I'm not sure if by buying the cinema ticket is you know, funding these things. It wouldn't surprise me if it is. Banks fund Hollywood, so banks fund geoengineering, and if they want to show and roll out geoengineering in a mass scale, then you can imagine that they're all completely linked. But the point I'm getting to is that this can only be done by our consent. So we don't consent, right? None of us consent to this. So through the work of Empower Movement and how they're approaching things, is that this tacit agreement is not right. You know, it's been hidden from us. So this is our power, people. We do have rights. All of us need to remember that the government were put into place to become as servants for people, you know, to run a community, help make decisions, help a community grow. That is their job. They are the servants. We have completely lost the whole, you know, realization of that. We can say no. We don't have to put up with any of this. But what we do need to do is unite in a much better way. You know, Facebook is tearing people's profiles down, so is Twitter. So everyone's kind of all over the place at the moment. They've got no hub to go to and nowhere that they can go to. So yeah, let's all congregate, let's all unite somehow, and let's get telling people that we don't consent. Because you don't consent, we can say no, and let's start saying no. The power is in us people. There are many more of us than there are of them. So many more of us. You see, the percentage is ridiculous. We shouldn't be in this situation, so let's get out of it, right? Let's get out of it.